We described life in the Soviet Union under Joseph Stalin. After the war, there was very little question that the Soviet Union had obtained what its leadership had always desired, back to the earliest days of the princes that overthrew the Mongols, global superpower status. Because the United States had brought the Soviets into the late stages of the war in the Pacific, it had allowed the Soviet Union to increase their influence of communism into the region, specifically China, Korea, and Vietnam. The Soviets used their position to take over islands in the Pacific and establish themselves as a protectorate of the region. They took on traditional authorities within East and West spheres, such as the Roman Catholic Church and education. They pushed for a state-control education, as well as taking over resources like the oil in Romania.
Under Stalin, all things Soviet took a hard line of loyalty to Moscow.
After Stalin's death, many Eastern Bloc countries developed differing economic, cultural, and tourism plans, but remained tied to the central planning communist model. When they tried to liberalize too much, that's when they'd be visited by Soviet military tactics like in Budapest and in Prague. Inside of the Soviet Union, the state used the Western threat as incentive to keep control over the population, reminding the people that the work they did was for a greater Soviet state against the evil, unequal societies of the West. In order to secure and maintain power on the world stage, Stalin pushed a massive agenda designed to boost the Soviet economy and also create personal loyalty in the citizens toward the state. The A-bomb detonation in 1949 and the H-bomb in 1955 showed their might. The factories of the state pushed to overcapacity to put out goods for export. In return, they used the profits to buy Western machinery to increase more industry. By 1950, the USSR was the center of heavy industrial production in the world. Heavy industry means the making of machines that produce other machines that are used in factories, mines, power plants, and canals. To ensure the loyalty of the citizens, Stalin took apart the role of the Orthodox Church in education and pushed for state-run schools. He also limited Jewish and Muslim faith and education as targeted minorities, and he banned Western-influenced literature and art. Stalin supported books that based themselves around scientific principles and the social sciences, as long as they could be seen through the prism of Karl Marx. Freud was banned, for instance, as was Boris Pasternak's Dr. Zhivago. He did embrace the past, though, but only if it was a pure Russian past, in ballets, operas, and literature. Those who were critical of the government, like Alexander Solzhenitsyn, were either murdered or sent to the gulags in Siberia. Sports were offered as an escape from hard work, although they were often mined for young talent who were then pushed for international competition and the glory of Russia. Stalin's industrial policies required a great deal of land and resources, which had a massive negative impact on the Russian landscape and agriculture. The population grew at first and moved to cinder block housing in the cities, but then the birth rate dropped. The state provided leisure time, and many families enjoyed access to Black Sea vacation resort. Overall, life improved with better access to medical care and education.